stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mublet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, they're trying hard, and this infiltration from within, which we've been seeing for quite a number of years now, continues. And it's going back over 20 years ago that it was actually that come out that this is what they wanted to achieve. By this time now, they wanted to achieve the status of what they've achieved already. So basically, it's they're just better, but they're progressing their plan of enforcing their views, their caliphate. Is that, does that work though? Views
Works
and
for me.
trying to suppress and oppress, normal, everyday thinking people. They want a utopian Islamic state. We've already got a state within a state in the United Kingdom, and you all know that. Whether people say it's not happening, you've only got to look at East London. Don't tell me that hasn't got the feel of a foreign land. Because I tell you what now, it's just like that. It never was, but it's become that way. That is it. And as you say, Dave, I mean, the thing about, my part of the world where I live, which is East Anglia, I know that good people where I live have got common sense, and they will be voting nothing to do with the leftists, nothing to do with the tree huggers or anything. They'll be voting Conservative. This is very much a Conservative area, That's the way people will vote, like they've done over the years. They're not going to vote for people like Jeremy Corbyn, the pleb. Not going to vote for the tree huggers. They want to vote for common sense. It's common sense is how to do it. When I cast my vote, I will use common sense. And I'm not trying to tell anybody how to vote, how not to vote. But just think about what we've experienced. Think about a betrayal. If you was like me, a Brexiteer, and you sat and you've watched the deterioration of politics over the last number of years, and a total betrayal, of course you are disillusioned by the political theatre of where we are now. And of course we want a change. We want a change for the status quo that we've seen for many, many years. It's crying out for that. Hopefully we will see something. I don't know. I'm not going to say nothing, Dave, because it's in the end. I mean, we haven't got that long to wait before the elections coming up, and I do believe that it will. Johnson will get the shout. He'll get the call, and hopefully he can move forward with Brexit. That's all we want. We should have done it on the 31st of October. We should be out, should be gone, should be looking towards our friends, our good friends in the United States and across the planet. We don't need to deal with the EU. We're done with them. They can jog on, they can do one. But Dave, just my views, mate.
There you go. Well, Jeff, yeah, but it is important. It is important for people to get out there and participate. And to that, I've got something here, Jeff, that My own brother sent me. He does a little bit of digging on his own, and I have to say that I'm proud of him. Yeah, I have to say that I'm proud of him for doing that. Yeah. He supports.
If he's your brother, you should be proud. I'm proud of you having a brother like this.
Well, I appreciate that. He supports the Unpleasant Blind. I do appreciate that, Jeff. He supports the Unpleasant Blind Guy, my show, and he supports everything I do in exposing Islam. And part of that is because he has a certain amount of experience traveling around the world and seeing a lot of this stuff for himself. One of the things that has come out has been several surveys that the Democrats over here in the United States are sending around. Now, as we know, a lot of their candidates have not been getting rave reviews. They're doing everything they can. At this point, they're in desperation mode. They're doing everything they can to try and get somebody to hate to beat President Trump. They all hate him, of course, but they're balkanized. They're balkanized to a point now where they're just basically throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks. Now, this is the current list of candidates that they've got that they want people to decide whether they want to support or not support. I haven't seen it this organized, Jeff, in 51 years, not since 1968. Yeah, not since 1968.
I've seen more organised piss-ups at breweries, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is the list of candidates they've got. And these first won't surprise you, but I will say add Deval Patrick to that. He's talking about getting into the race. He's the former governor of Massachusetts. That state is a disaster as far as overtaxation, allowing criminals to just run loose. It's insane down there, and for this guy to run is an absolute joke. But he's either he's officially said he's going to run, or he's very much considering running. But at this point, here are the others. Of course, we have creepy Joe Biden, a great guy to vote for if you want. Yeah, great guy to vote for if you want your early teenage daughter felt up. We've got Amy Klobuchar. Hardly nobody knows who that is.
My God.
We got we of course have. Oh well, you want to talk about disasters? We of course have the guy from my own state, Bernie Sanders, the Burn. Yeah, we've got
crazy old Bernie.
Yeah, the Crypt Keeper himself. We have Elizabeth Warren, the fake Indian. We have Kamala Harris.
Oh, love it, Dave. Love it, man. Elizabeth Warren.
We have Kamala Harris, who's basically running on the fact that she's a black woman. Otherwise, her political experience is having started her career basically on her back, being closely associated with another Democrat, but she's in the race anyway. We have Mr. Racist himself, Cory Booker. We have Julian Castro.
Is he running as well? He's like 1% or something, rather. His popularity.
Oh yeah, well again, he's pretty much just a racist. We have Julian Castro, whose policies are very much like Fidel's. One of the most dangerous people, in my opinion, in the whole Democratic slate right now. I really hope this guy doesn't get anywhere near even a vice presidency. We have John Delaney. I have no knowledge of who this guy even is, but there's a few of those. We have
he doesn't even know who he is, Dave.
We have Steve Bullock. We don't. Again, there's another guy I almost never heard of. We have Tulsi Gabbard is one that could represent a threat because she's a veteran, and even though she follows socialist
she's a very attractive
policy,
lady, isn't she, Dave?
well, she's that too. Didn't she
go head-to-head with Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton tried to down her or something. Am I all right, Dave? Sorry, mate.
I think she might have, but she's a danger in that she is a veteran, and that's going to count big in her case, even though she is also a socialist. We have, of course, Pete Buttigieg, who is basically running on racism against white people and the fact that he's gay. We have Andrew Yang.
Five on this match.
Yeah. Well, and Buttigieg is white himself, so that's. We have Andrew Yang, and Andrew Yang's big thing is he wants to give everybody, quote unquote, free money. He hasn't said how he's going to pay for it really, and also institute a social credit system. He says not like the one they have in China. Yeah, right. Okay, so that's Andrew Yang. We've got Wayne Messon, another guy I never heard of. We've got Marianne Williamson. Again, I never heard of her, so we've got Michael Bennett, another one that's pretty much a nobody. Joe Sestak. I always call him, well, Jeff, you wouldn't know this unless you were to watch the Saturday morning program Land of the Lost in the 1970s, but I always call him Joe Sleestak. We've got Tom Steyer. And now, here's the big ones, okay? The three big ones. First one is Michael Bloomberg. This guy has been a complete disaster. As mayor of New York, he's been an absolute disaster. This is the kind of guy, Jeff, I'll tell you this, Jeff and listeners. A few years ago, he actually threatened a single cab, it's just a cab driver. I forget how the cab driver offended him. But he threatened to put the guy out of business just because he offended this guy. He's a billionaire, and he's a sleazeball. Now, here's the final two, okay? Get ready for it. One of the candidates they're floating, asking people if they might support him or not, is Michelle Obama. All right? And
Michael, well,
yep.
You mean Michael?
Well, depending on how you view it, yeah. And the last one, Hillary Clinton. They're actually thinking about running that again. They're thinking about running Hillary Clinton again. So there you go, Jeff. There's the list so far, and who knows, it may get bigger. So thank you to Gene Miller, my brother.
It's an interesting mishmash of characters there, isn't it? Are they all on day release from the asylums, Dave? You know, they've got to go back, or whenever they've done their bit, you know, because that's what it sounds like to me. And, you know, the last one, Hillary Clinton. I bet your president would be chomping at the bit to get into debates with her again, and the other couple. I mean, that's it. I mean, really, what are they running on? I mean, what are they offering the people? Cut or enforce taxes, put taxes back on. You know, what was it? Something like $77 trillion for health care. One of them said. Someone said not quite as much, 50 trillion. That's $1 trillion, mate. That is trillions they're talking. I mean, that is stupid, and what can I say? We live in a land of confusion, as I've often said, but with these people, it'd be a land of despair. If ever he's got a hold of the reins of power, Dave, oh my God. That's all I'm going to say. Wow, what a shambles, Dave. What a shambles.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to thank Gene Milner for providing that list. There may be more coming from him. So, brother, thank you. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Yeah, we're gonna move on. But yeah, you're right, Jeff. I mean, none of them are offering anything good, and I can guarantee, with any of them in office, it doesn't matter who they are. You better believe that the Islamic agenda will move forward, and they'll make sure that it does. You know, I mean, if they're prepared to put a Mohammedan on the National Security Committee in our Congress, they're prepared to just make sure that they can have their way and take over. And yes, I do mean take over. Go to tr.news, everybody, again, and you'll see an article on there about the Great Replacement and how that's not a conspiracy theory. We might hit that again in a future show. You never know. But it will be a good thing for you guys to check out. Yes, it will. Now, Jeff, it's a bit early, but I'm going to go ahead now. It's a bit early because you've got about 7 minutes before you have to call in. And what I want to do...
Yeah, I'm okay for a little while, Dave.
Right? I know.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will call back. It'll just save any mucking about in a little while, won't it, mate? So, yeah,
certainly,
you go ahead.
Certainly.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. Well, sure. Well, what we're going to do here, guys. Now, we've been to the UK. We've been to the United States. Okay, and what we're going to do now, after Jeff comes back in, we're going to go to Finland. That's right, because the cloven-hooved March of Islam is happening all over the planet. Okay, and it's happening way up north in Finland as well. And we're going to get into that. And this actually involves yet another hate hoax. This is something that has become common among Mohammedans. They accuse people of a quote-unquote hate crime, and then it's found, hey, there was no hate crime. And this one has a bit of a twist. Okay, welcome back, Jeff. And you guys are going to hear that, and you guys are going to hear that right now. This is a 3-minute story from Breitbart.com. Check this one out from Finland, folks. You're listening to the English Defense League radio show.
Hate hoax in Helsinki. Somali Social Democrat politician faked racist taxi story. By Kurt Sindelka on November 14, 2019. Abdurrahim Husu Hussein, a Social Democratic Party politician and Helsinki city councillor, has admitted to making up a hate hoax about a racist passenger in his taxi because he was angry. Mr. Abdurrahim Husu Hussein, a Somalian immigrant and left-wing politician in Helsinki, retracted his fictitious account of experiencing racist verbal abuse from a passenger in his taxi after the taxi company found that GPS data from the cab tracker refuted his claims. I apologize for my actions and for lying. As a decision maker, it is my duty to be honest. I depend on my voters' trust and I have now broken that trust. I shall do everything I can to restore trust in my actions, wrote the left-wing politician after his deception was revealed. A little over a week ago, Husu took to Twitter in order to garner sympathy for an incident in which a passenger in his taxi had allegedly told him to go back to Somalia, prompting Hussein to kick the man out of his cab. Later in a blog post, Mr. Hussein claimed that the man had acted in a racist manner, asking him why he was in Finland and where he was from. Reports US Radio Oy, the national public broadcasting service of Finland. The taxi operator, Taxi Helsinki, concerned over the allegations, opened an investigation into the matter and found that Hussein's claims did not match the GPS record logged in his taxi. The investigation by the company also found that no one was abandoned and no passenger was removed from a ride. The matter has been discussed with Husu and the matter has been dealt with in this respect. The fake hate hoax drew condemnation from the council group chair, Evelina Heinel-Woma. I'm extremely disappointed in the actions of our council group member Husu. A person in a position of responsibility should act with the dignity required of the position. We will discuss the matter in our next council group meeting, Heinel-Woma wrote on Twitter. Speaking to Helsingin Sanomat, a Finnish newspaper, Husu seemingly defended his hoax, claiming that even though this incident was fake, it was representative of something he believed to be real in society. Here's the whole point left out. Taxi drivers with foreign backgrounds are being subjected to constant racist harassment, Hussein said. He later admitted that I wrote a tweet on Sunday because I was angry. Earlier this year, Husu came under fire for writing a racially charged rant on Twitter, saying, "All Finns party members and their voters/supporters are racist." Yes, I said it. Need proof? Look at their history and how they've been elected as the second largest party in Finland. Follow Kurt Sindelka on Twitter at Kurt Sindelka or email sindelka@breitbart.com.
Hey, welcome back to the English Defense League radio show with host Jeff Spider Mitchell. Yes, he's in the web, and now he's on the air. Jeff, what do you think of that one, dude?
Well, it shows you what I've always said. when you show these these people power, they abuse their powers and lie. And this is what we've seen once again. Someone who lied, then was found out, knew there was no way out because the GPS had got him banged to rights. Because if you ejected a customer, the GPS would show the stop time and when you returned back on the road. It was quite obvious there was no way out. There was no way out. That was the proof. GPS had sussed him out. If he had CCTV in the cab, which most of them should have, that's what we say they should have, and it would have been without any issue whatsoever. That would have never arose. It's just because he didn't like the guy. He just wanted to make a fuss, and he wanted to lie and to discredit the other person who is fair. So, yeah, there you go. It just goes to show you power with these people. You show power, they abuse their rights. Which is, that's what we've always said, Dave, haven't we? You can't offer these people power because they step it up a few notches. So, anyway, that's just my thought on it. And any feelings, any person's feelings that was hurt during this, especially the passenger, I think he should be compensated for any aggravation that it might cause, because you know it probably caused him. He probably had all sorts of death threats, blah, 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 like we hear all the time, Dave. But that's just me thinking and speaking my own views. Back to you, mate.
Well, yeah, Jeff. I mean, we do a lot of these stories, and we do them because of the fact that this happens all the time. Okay, what we need for people to understand that these are going on all the time. All right, and it's Quranic too, Jeff. This kind of behavior is right out of the Quran. The deception in Islam, okay, is key. Yeah. And, you know, the deception...
Not tequila, ladies and gentlemen, tequila.
Yeah. Yeah.
The art of lying,
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen. That's what tequila is, the art of lying. When you're part of the Sharia, you are allowed to lie to better the cult of death. There you go. Back to you, Dave.
Well, yeah, you're allowed to lie, and it's Quranic, okay. I'm just going to read a couple of little things out of the Quran here, and this is from the religionofpeace.com, guys. You need to have this in your toolbox if you really want to understand Islam and its threat. This is Quran 66:2. Allah has already ordained for you the dissolution of your oath. In other words, you can lie your head off, and you're covered, man. You know, you're covered. Now, this is the one that I used, Jeff, right here. And this is the second one. When I posted this on social media, this one here is Quran 2:225. Allah will not call you to account for thoughtlessness in your oath, in other words, for lying, but for the intention in your hearts. So as long as you're trying to cover for Islam, okay, you're allowed. You're allowed to lie. You're allowed to be deceptive. A Mohammedan knows this. They use it. They use it all the time to sucker in well-intentioned people in all of our countries who, here in the United States, we have the view, hey, as long as nobody gets hurt, you worship the way you want, okay? But we know, of course, that a lot of people get hurt when it comes to Islam. But they lie and say that they don't get hurt. And, of course, you have people who are either mentally lazy or they want political gain from all the Mohammedans coming into our countries, or for whatever reason, they buy the lie. And in the cult of Islam, it is allowed. And I just read you 2 examples. There are plenty more, okay? That is what this guy's statements are based on. Now he says, oh, well, all this racism happens. It does. It happens. Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying that
the
there
cult
aren't
of death
cases.
is the more racist than anything else that's ever been on this planet. The whole thing, the cult of death, is all about hate and deceitfulness. So there you go. Sorry, Dave. I'm sorry to interject there, but I just wanted to add that. You know, that's how it feels. I feel about it anyway.
Well, Islam is not a race, Jeff, and we keep saying that. And I'm just gonna come out and say it. Now I'm not gonna say there are never any issues involving real racism. We're talking about stuff involving skin color and stuff like that in Finland. I'm sure there are some, okay, but Islam is not a race, and someone should not be allowed to hold office and get away with trying to destroy a reputation or lying about it to create tensions and hatred into the Mohammedans for non-Muslims. They've already got enough of that. And this guy, I'm sure, is still going... Yes, this guy, I'm sure, is going to be able to keep holding his office, and he should be kicked out of that office. He should not be a city councilor. All right? But with political correctness, this monster will probably be allowed to stay in office. And as you notice, Democrat, social Democrat, working for the left, working for the people that enable Islam and enable all the stuff that we talk about here on this show, that Jeff and I talk about all the time. Okay, they enable the rape and life destruction of young girls and boys who are not Islamic, right? They enable that. They enable wife beating. They enable
cloven hooves. Dave,
yes.
It just come to my mind as you were saying that, the march of the cloven hooves. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen, what we just said there. The march of the because that is what it is. It's pure evil. Sorry, Dave, back to you, buddy.
Yeah, that's why I suggested that for the name of the show, because Satan also has cloven hooves. But the left enables this. They enable the mutilation of young Islamic women's genitalia. Okay, they enable that. They enable the practice of young Mohammedans torturing dogs and cats to death. They enable the ongoing practice right now, people, okay, of slavery. And it's Muslim Mohammedans that are involved in the modern slave trade today. Not 150 years ago, not 200 years ago, today, right now. They're slaves, and Mohammedans are trading them, and the left is enabling that and saying, you can't tell those truths about Islam. It's not politically correct. Well, guess what? We're going to keep on telling that truth. Are we, Jeff?
And, of course, let's not forget necrophilia, Dave. They're very much, the cult of death is very much. So it just goes to show you, necrophilia, everything that we speak about the cult of death, or the evilness of the cult of death, is all satanic. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We sum it up as it is. It is satanic in every step of the way. Everywhere it treads, it is like the march of the cloven hooves. So there you go.
Yeah.
Dave, I know I'm going around in a bit of a circle there, but you brought up some things that I just had to join and interject with a few of my own thoughts there. Thank you, Dave, as usual.
Well, Jeff, guys, that's one thing you can count on, is that Jeff and I are going to talk over these stories before the show. We have a nice little briefing before the show, and I once in a while show Jeff a slide and go, hey, what do you think of me putting this one in? I won't say what the slide was I wanted to put in for today. It was funny.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, myself and Dave, we had a discussion about it, and I thought that maybe it might be a little bit, what's the word I can use?
Extreme,
controversial. Should we just call it rather controversial?
Okay. Yeah, controversial.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I mean, we both did laugh. So
It was funny, and I'll use it in any aspects. But to do radio shows, it's we would have probably had a warning. Oh, I might have even had this show shut down if I'd have gone with a slide that we wouldn't have put up there. So yeah, we had a little discussion, and Dave laughed, and I said, "We can't go there, brother." I wanted to go there. And then if I was on another platform or do so, I would have probably gone there with Dave, but not on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, well, that's it. And we discuss the stories just as much, and Jeff finds them, and I find them, and we give each other input back and forth about it. And that's why we have them here today.
And that is it for this time. Next time, Part 3. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye.
The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carrie Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys' club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.